Thanks for clicking on the video. Hit the subscribe button for more weekly content and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a thing. Hello! Greetings! Welcome to a new video. It is Wednesday, so I feel like it's the perfect day of the week to post a what if video. I said in the last one I'm going to try to get this out weekly, and Wednesday seems like a good day in the week to get some what ifs out there. Now if you read the title, you already know what we're here for. It is, what if Ryuko was a boy? The first things first, let me clarify a few things. Fundamentally, absolutely nothing about Ryuko would be different from being male instead of female. The personality will still be that of a brash, cocky delinquent, and there will be no difference in strength from the gender swap. And when it comes to fighting opponents of the opposite gender, Ryuko or even other characters wouldn't take that into account at all. Just like in the original, no one took it easy on Ryuko because she's a girl, and that same principle applies in this scenario. Ryuko is on a mission and will beat the brakes off of anyone who gets in their way. There's also one more change I'll be making in the scenario, but we'll discuss that in a bit. So if you're amped, hype, turned for that video, squat up on the like button. Help support series, help support that channel, help support these new what ifs coming out there. And for now, let's get started. For simplicity's sake, we'll continue to refer to him as Ryuko. Just like before, Ryuko makes his way to Honnouji Academy in order to discover the mystery behind his father's murder. His classmate Mako informs him of the absolute rule of the student council and its president Sasuke Kiryuin. Sasuke sends Fukuroda to confront Ryuko, and he's demolished by the power of a 2-star Goku uniform. Fast forward to Ryuko in his meeting with Senketsu. Here's where the second change comes into play. We all know that Ryuko's father was the one who made the kamui for his daughter in the original. This time, however, Senketsu wouldn't be a girl's sailor uniform, but a boy's gakuran. This makes sense, as it would be totally off the wall for the good doctor to give his teenage son a girl's school uniform. Getting back on track, Ryuko returns to Honnouji Academy for a rematch with Fukuroda. Instead of coming covered in a robe, he returns with a fully activated kamui. There are two reasons for this. The first being that Senketsu isn't designed to be as revealing and for the male gaze, which leads to the second reason. Ryuko is now a boy and isn't embarrassed to show a little bit of skin. Fukuroda was thoroughly beaten in the original by a limited Senketsu, but since they were able to achieve full synchronization from the jump this time, the fight lasts even shorter. Also, Ryuko is still full of energy because of the minimal blood drain. Turning towards Sasuke, he made a beeline at the student council president until the only thing in between them was Ryuko's scissor blade. This obviously took the entire student body by surprise, including the student council, but of course Sasuke stood unnerved. Ryuko demanded to know what she knew about his father's murder. As calmly as ever, Sasuke said she wouldn't reveal anything until he proves he's worthy enough to know the truth. The president told Ryuko to meet at the school tomorrow, and should he defeat her in a duel, she'll reveal any information she has. This infuriated Ryuko. This girl is in no position to make demands. He could finish her right now. But Ryuko calmed himself, powered down, and left. Avenging his father took priority, and he needed any information he can get. So far, we have Ryuko achieving life fiber synchronization a lot earlier than before, and the fight between him and Sasuke is happening earlier than expected. What about his relationship with Mako? I believe the two would still get along just like before, but it would take a little longer to form the friendship they had in the original. Also, how does Ryuko find out about life fiber and the true nature of his kamui? Well, let's continue. The following day, Ryuko meets Sasuke just as planned. However, she reveals a surprise of her own kamui, Junketsu. Unlike before, she knows the true nature of a kamui and how to activate its full power. Ryuko is still just as shocked to see Sasuke not bat an eye at how revealing her kamui is, but quickly shrugs it off and prepares to fight. There's one little problem though. He has no idea how to activate Senketsu. The events of yesterday just happened, and he thought he could access those powers at will. Yeah, no. Totally unprepared. All Ryuko could do was just stand there with his scissor blade and hope for the best. The best did not come, as Sasuke mercilessly punished Ryuko with her own power for the entire school to see. His tattered body lay at her feet, barely able to keep a grip on his blade. Sasuke proudly boasted that all will bow to her absolute will, that no one will beat her at her own ambitions. all Ryuko could do was grit his teeth in anger before passing out from blood loss. When he regained consciousness, he was no longer at Honnouji Academy, or even at the Mankanshoku residence, but in an unfamiliar room. Turns out, it belonged to his homeroom teacher, Aikuro Mikisugi. As in the original, he oversaw Ryuko's recovery and reveals that he's no ordinary teacher. The revelation of life fibers and that Senketsu needs blood to function all came from this encounter. Ryuko Gang gets the device that allows him to give blood to Senketsu, and the next day attempts to challenge Satsuki again. She initially refused until she noticed a new glove on Ryuko's hand. He clearly figured out how to activate his Kamui, so Satsuki accepted the rematch. Once on the battlefield, both synchronized with their Kamuis and let loose. This time the fight was more evenly matched. The fight carried on until both were too physically exhausted to carry on. But Satsuki wasn't completely done. In front of all of Honnouji Academy, she announced that Ryuko is the target of every school club, and only if he manages to defeat them and her in another fight will she comply with Ryuko's wishes. Though Ryuko now has a mark on his back, he made his own declaration to not only beat Satsuki's ambitions, but to utterly crush them. That's where this video will end for now. Like I mentioned in the beginning, making Ryuko into a boy doesn't change the story at its core at all. He still is on a mission to avenge his father, and must still throw down against all of Honnouji Academy to do it. The only difference is that this time, Ryuko accepted Senketsu almost immediately, allowing life fiber synchronization to happen early. Where do you see the story going from here? Will Ryuko's growth happen faster from here? Would anything else substantial happen as a result of this minor change? Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed, hit the subscribe button. Help us reach our goal of 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.